it or not, episode 393 is up. I certainly can't believe it. They will indeed go to 400, they mentioned. Dan and Artie. And a strange thing happened. They talked about Dan's wife. Almost never gets brought up. Just a very strange thing. Maybe some of you don't even know that he's married. He is married, believe it or not. And here's how the discussion went.
All over his leg. And before they give him his biscuits and gravy, he goes, "Oh, my leg!" And then he yells at his girlfriend for being disgusting. Yeah, that's what Lumpy looked like. But he was mobile. Do you know what happened to Lumpy?
I do not. I actually tried to ask this weekend.
Why?
I got his real name.
Why'd you ask about Lumpy?
Because I couldn't remember his name when you told the story a couple weeks ago.
Well, instead of that, why don't you get the Madonna tapes? Put effort into that.
I looked.
Dan goes back to Chicago. I don't know what happens there.
Well, the house is a disaster.
What happened?
There was a water pipe explosion.
So what does your wife do? I mean, you know, what does she do?
Well, no, there's a construction. The whole place is...
But where is she?
The third floor is okay. It was the first two floors that got...
So she just moves to different areas where...
Yeah.
And so she just went up to the third floor and didn't tell anybody about the flooding?
She's living up there in the third
floor.
Right.
Does she leave the house?
Yeah, she lives through the front door. Everything from the living room to the kitchen, and then the entire basement is completely wiped out.
And the chef who left shit all over the toilet all the time died?
He passed about 3 months ago.
Sounds like he passed the kidney stone. But he was a nice guy, but he would leave shit all over like he was big, and he would shit on the toilet instead of in it. And Dan would have to come over in 4 weeks and clean it.
Yeah, he would ask the cleaning lady to give her. He gave her $100.
I was gonna say, yeah, you give a Mexican cleaning woman $100, they will literally give you an enema.
Not this one. For about 4 weeks she did it, and then she couldn't.
Oh, there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse. Now look, I'm not for slavery. What I'm about to say is, don't get me wrong. It was terrible.
Okay, we're going to move ahead to the end of the podcast, and they talk a little bit about what the future may hold.
Well, listen. We have 9 shows left. I will say this. We're going to get to 6 shows, whatever it is. We get to 400. Dan is promising a big show. We're going to see if that writer Dan Wetzel's chubby guy, great guest. He predicted the Chris Culliver thing would be big.
That's right.
Chris Culliver go on a 4-minute rampage. Not gays. Dan with his hand on the pulse. It's going to suck. This is the end of a chapter. Danny and I sit at this table, and with this expensive equipment, and me paying for it in 2.5 years. But I was lied to. By a company. And I can't get in trouble because they sent me a letter saying we lied to you. They sent me a letter saying we lied to you. And then they tried to keep their jobs. And I said, I don't know what I'm doing, but I don't think I want to work with you anymore. They're lucky I don't sue them. Dan got paid. I am done. I'm going to work with Fareed Shakuka, the FPS report. Let me tell you, Mr. Trump, I know making the 7-Eleven slappy. I'm going to do all stereotypical shit. Much like Bill Maher. But listen, we're going to do 400 shows. That'll be a very satisfying thing. Dan and I have left behind a body of work. We left behind the Nick and Artie show, the Artie Lang show, and now the Artie Quitter podcast. And a lot of field interviews, half of which Dan erased, 2 of which he did not record. But we've had a blast. We've had a blast. I mean, the amount of laughs in the last 2.5 years. I recovered from pancreatitis and grabbed the bull by the balls. And we just had so much fun here. Dan's a great producer. He's wonderful. But I will say this. Obviously, I'm taping Crashing. I'll be all over the place promoting that. I have a new stand-up hour I'll be touring with all over the place. We'll be in Chicago, Atlantic City, Saturday, June the 10th coming up. Chicago coming up. We're going to have a blast. Syracuse. And ultimately, hopefully, a special on a certain cable network, my 4th special, if we get it done. And a big announcement, hopefully. It's not a definite, but it's like more sure than it's ever been. It's been something I've been wanting to do for a long time, working with somebody I've been wanting to work with a long time. Danny will be involved. and it will be, in the world, in our world, it'll be a pretty big announcement. It will, and it involves podcasting and this equipment, which I'll try to roll over into the next job. I'm not kidding about that. So hopefully you'll hear that. That's not a definite. We're going to work out some details. So hopefully that'll happen. But I don't know. Enjoy the last 6. We're going to have fun. We're going to end with that gay song again.